Some new moms are learning how to even take care of their baby. They don't know how, and then they're really running on no sleep.
This lady is a perfect example about how much we don't know about postpartum. Women pop out babies every single day and have no clue how dark it can get mentally and how messed up your body can be physically.
Let me tell her. You want to know what it is? It's a parasite.
Okay, so no.
Yes, it is. It is a literal living type of thing. It's a parasite inside of its host. It cannot survive outside of its host.
You know what a parasite is?
20 weeks.
A black man, you know what? It don't even matter that it's a black man. It's a little bit more disappointing that it's a black man, but a man got on TikTok and told black women not to take up arms for a white woman facing trial for her kids due to postpartum fill in the blank. That type of struggle ain't got no color. And we damn sure ain't listening to no man telling us what to care about.
We have got to stop with this like new trend of the postpartum thing, like help her, you know, even though she KILLED'd her children, it's not her fault. She was sleep deprived.
It's a parasite inside of its host. It cannot survive outside of its host.
You know what a parasite is?
20 weeks. Yes, it is something that survives within something
order
else.
to
It
be a
cannot survive
parasite-
outside of the mother. It can't
In
survive
order to
outside
be
of
a
the host.
parasite, it has to be a different species from the host.
I get it. I have a newborn son right now. They send you out of the hospital sleep deprived. They're coming into your room when you're there every 2 seconds. Hi, mama. Hi, mama. Hi, dad. They give you your baby right from the jump. Literally, right when you're done pushing, they give you your baby.
And 2 humans can only reproduce a human.
Babe, no.
Yes.
A parasite is a living type of organism that cannot survive outside of its host.
We need to normalize selling cat. You know, it's the oldest profession for a reason. Do you really think the first time a woman sold some, it was because she woke up that morning and said, I don't have any other skills whatsoever. This is going to be the thing I do. I'm sure it started with a hard and some opportunity.
She said she just had a baby 2 weeks ago. To not know exactly what could happen after having a child, I mean, I'm sure she's on the 2 weeks high, but to not know what could be a possibility of happening when you push out a child is scary.
A fetus cannot survive outside of its mother before 20 weeks. I've been saying that the whole time. I've been saying that the whole time.
It cannot be a parasite because it is the same species as the host. In order to be a parasite, you have to be a different species. No matter how many times I try to reproduce with my husband, I can never create any other species besides a human being.
It is a parasite.
And yes, that lady is a murderer. We can agree on that, and she should be locked up. But we should put, hey, this could happen postpartum. These are things that could happen. These are things that people should be aware of.
I'm sure it started with a who looked at her like she wasn't shit except for that. And she was like, well, I am hungry. There's no one here to gather and hunt and provide.
And to not add that to it has that information that y'all don't have. You could kill yourself. You could kill your children. And she's like, she's a mother. She shouldn't have those thoughts. That is not how that works. That is not how a brain imbalance works.
Men, I have a serious question. What's the biggest thing that makes you hesitate to get married today?
Let me just give you what she believes is feminism's 3 commandments. Thou shalt be autonomous. So the woman needs to be independent. Second commandment of feminism, thou shalt be promiscuous. And the third commandment of feminism is thou shalt hate all men.
I hear a lot of people say men are afraid of marriage. But is that really true?
The idea is, you can almost think of it like barometric pressure. When necessity is pressing in on you, like your back is against the wall, like you have to get something done, and there's like this pressure around you, you find energy in there that you never believed before. When you feel like your life's in danger, suddenly you can leap over things that you never could leap over before. So Sun Tzu says, put an army on death ground with its back to the ocean or a back to the mountain, and it's either win or die. They're going to fight 10 times harder. The idea is, you can almost think of it like barometric pressure. when necessity is pressing in on you, like your back is against the wall, like you have to get something done, and there's like this pressure around you, you find energy in there that you never believed before. When you feel like your life's in danger, suddenly you can leap over things that you never could leap over before. So Sun Tzu says, put an army on death ground with its back to the ocean or a back to the mountain, and it's either win or die. They're going to fight 10 times harder.
If you've ever been in a situation where financially, either post-divorce or during child support, where you had your back against the wall, you would certainly identify with this sentence from The Art of War. 投之无所往，四血不悲，死阳不得，世人尽力。 Translation. Throw your soldiers into positions whence there is no escape, and they will prefer death to flight. If they face death, there is nothing they may not achieve. Officers and men alike will put forth their uttermost strength. Sun Tzu continues, 兵士身陷则不住，无所往则故，深入则知，不得已则斗。 Translation. Soldiers, when in desperate straits, lose the sense of fear. If there is no place of refuge, they will stand firm. If they are in hostile country, they will show a stubborn front. If there is no help for it, they will fight hard. Sound familiar?
People are calling this a phenomenon, but this isn't new because women have been doing this for years, as you were saying earlier. We're just calling it something different. But what feels different about it is that such modern women, millennial women like yourselves, are quiet quitting. That's the point of the Cut story, correct, Monica?
Yes. These women are staying in marriages when they actually could leave. You know, financially, they have careers, they're staying for their kids. What I found really interesting, and this pertains to modern women, you know, in the past you would say to a boyfriend, you've changed, you're not the person I met. And now women in midlife are saying to their husbands, you haven't changed. And I'm evolving. You're not growing. So this relationship's not growing. So that's, I think, one of the biggest challenges in midlife marriage for modern women and husbands.
Is that the women have grown.
Yes.
And in many cases, the men have not.
Yes.
Yes.
They're stuck in stasis and the women are ready for their second act.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
You haven't changed. And I'm evolving. You're not growing. So this.
When you see that kind of head shaking in this kind of situation, it's really somewhat harmless. She's just listening to two women speak about getting divorced in your mid-40s and starting over because your husband isn't evolving. But in real life, that means that that's a trip to the courthouse, that's hiring lawyers, that's deciding who's going to live in what house, is maybe a custody situation, and that is just one of the flanks of this death ground that you can be surrounded in as a guy. You could be married to a woman and she's talking about postpartum, and these young ladies are supporting a young lady who did something that's unspeakable, but saying that that's part of what comes with postpartum depression, that as a man you're supposed to do something that maybe my grandfather didn't know how to do, but we turned out okay. And then you have young ladies calling babies parasites. And so if you're a guy in this situation, you're looking all the way around you, you really don't have a safe place to really put down your stuff and say, hey, this is a woman that I can attach to permanently for the rest of my life and live it. Instead, what you're seeing is, well, if I get married and she's unhappy in our mid-40s and 50s, that's a great divorce. If we have a child, she's going to be talking about postpartum and how I need to do X, Y, and Z so that she can be happy raising a child. Or it's just the fact that she just really doesn't like child rearing or being a mother in the first place. And so what does a man do in said situation? He evolves. He has no choice to.
I'm going to need somebody to explain to me why Genuine at 55 years old is engaged to a 28-year-old realtor from Miami. So you're dating someone that you have children older than, and y'all don't think this is weird and predatory? Like, what are they even having a conversation about?
Put this on your calendar. October 2026, Cougar Cruise. Have a good day.
Genuine was always corny. We just didn't know it because, you know, he was light skinned with curly hair. Like, he fit the bill. Like, we didn't need to know anything else, you know. But his name is Elgin, and he's named after his father. And if he don't act like an Elgin, I don't know what else. It speaks for itself.
Be trying to call me a cougar? A cougar. See, from what I understand, a cougar is an old bitch that like the young guys. I'm an old bitch that young guys like the It's a difference.
This man then fell off a stage twice in front of y'all. You already know he cheated so much on his wife, his ex-wife, Soleil, I think that was her name, that he sent both of them into therapy. This man has, I don't think, a lot of money. And then he got a lot of health problems. But mad because he married this one here, a 27, 28-year-old realtor in Miami. Bah, we don't care. Don't y'all say nothing about it. Just shh.
If you in LA, you a cougar, you a cub, you a young man and you like old ladies. You a old lady and you like the young men. Comment on this video. Try to find your connection.
Why is Genuine's 55-year-old ass engaged to a 28-year-old? Like, that is weird. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. When it comes to age gap relationships, I'm always going to have a problem with it. I'm always going to ask questions. I'm always going to show a level of concern. You 55 years old, you are an elder. You are an elder within the community, and you're supposed to act like it.
A lot of these younger men in that 35-ish range, even a little younger than 30, they are a lot more mature than a lot of these men who are 45 and up. They're not stuck in their ways. They are very flexible. They open doors. They know how to date. They are actually hunters like men used to be.
You're supposed to conduct yourself as such. But you over here running behind people that are younger than your kids. Mind you, Genuine has kids that are in their 30s. Why are you talking to somebody that's younger than your son?
We've talked about this, that often I date younger men. And a lot of it is because...
Let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God, we had a great dinner. We had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table, your husband goes, "But why?" And I said, well, maybe because I can.
There is a problem with real-life dating events. Men are not showing up. Dating apps are on the decline, but a growing number of Gen Z and millennial singles are turning to and creating in real-life dating events in search of something that apps no longer provide, a meaningful connection. Tickets almost always sell, but there's one key problem. Men are too scared to turn up. This is confusing because last year men heavily outweighed women on dating apps at 68%, and Ofcom found that on Tinder, men outnumbered women 3-1. So why are organisers handing out free tickets to get men to sign up? Well, I attended a few events to find out why. Some men told me the events can feel forced, others said it comes down to rejection and ego, some said vulnerability and confidence, and others spoke about the difficulty in knowing how to show up in modern dating due to the shift in expectations. Men are expected to pursue and approach women, and they're taught to be confident and charming and say the right things. But some men now fear coming across as sleazy or creepy. Others expressed how men are taught to not show sensitivity or vulnerability. But events like this mean putting yourself out there, which in turn can lead to rejection. And women have each other to confide in with things like this. But men, on the other hand, they're taught to just deal with it. So yes, men might not be showing up to singles dating events, but perhaps it's because they don't know how.
Good. While we're in the gender wars, I feel like, right, you're defining men on their value by what kind of car they drive,
exactly,
what kind of job they have.
Do you remember what's his face, Kevin Samuels?
Yes.
Okay. People talk about the disservice that he did to women, and he did do a disservice to women. That whole rate yourself with some hotness.
Should he look a certain way?
I don't like, even though I'm heavy set, I don't like heavy set men.
Whatever we want to say about Oprah's 5-decade crusade for whatever she's been crusading for, it's been a success. You're seeing dating events where men aren't showing up, something that is as natural as human breathing. Men want to be around young, beautiful, inviting young ladies, and for whatever reason, we don't have that. And a good portion of the reason why is because Oprah has basically told young ladies, if you're not happy in the marriage, you can quit. And that might mean that the other guy in the situation, the man you're supposed to marry and love until death do you part, is fighting to see his kids, and he's dealing with some financial hardship because he has to pay child support / alimony / spousal support under the threat of jail, losing his driver's license, passport, etc. And even if he's not dating those older ladies, a younger lady has been told, basically, if an older man is trying to date you, then there's something wrong with him. But then on the other end of the token, if an older lady wants to date a younger man, that's fine. And so if a man is looking at all of this and saying, the prize that I can get for this is maybe a night worth of excitement, and then waking up in the morning and wondering, is she pregnant? Is she going to say that I did something to her? Or even if you develop it into a relationship, how long will that relationship work out? Because many divorced men and men that are dealing with child support are coming on the other side of this and saying, the best you can hope for is a woman quiet quitting in your marriage because you're not doing more than you were when you got married. And that, my friends, is the world that Oprah has created. In a way, she's checkmated herself. She's told guys, if you are not a good enough husband, your wife can leave you and leave you in financial ruin. If you are trying to date a younger woman, she has every right to feel as if she doesn't want to be around babies. And if you're dealing with her, you are some kind of creepy guy. And if you do have a child with your wife, she can go and say that she's having postpartum, and you have to have a wide variety of issues that need to be met, things that maybe our grandmothers or great grandmothers never even considered, because postpartum is a national emergency. And so as a guy, you're looking at this and saying, there's no way I can win. This is essentially death ground. If I stay married for a long time and don't do right, it's going to blow up. If I date a young lady, people are going to frown upon it. If I do get married to one of those young ladies and we have a child and I don't help enough, and the young lady is going through postpartum and she is dealing with some feelings that might make her want to erase people from earth, that is a man needs to do something problem on top of going to work, paying the bills, and making sure everything is okay. And so what is a guy looking at this and saying? Maybe I should just get a young cutie from somewhere else. I mean, it's pretty simple, really. Oprah has checkmated herself, and she didn't even realize it. She has taken, essentially, with her teachings and her platform and the indoctrination that she's given many young ladies, all of the incentive out of wanting to be around young ladies, which naturally men wanted to do by design since we were mammals. She wants things that men simply can't provide. So men say, what's the point of even trying? And that is why your dating events are empty. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care, guys.